Good morning once again, dear students of class 11. And today I'm trying to make this video with a difference where you can also see me alongside here down below. Hi, hello everyone. And at the same time, you can see the text on the screen and also listen to my explanation. Now, my video could not be possibly made bigger, otherwise the screen will be covered. And it's necessary for each one of you to please take out your textbooks now and please get ready with the pages which we are supposed to be doing now. So on your screen you can see it's mentioned Act 1 Scene 2 of the Tempest, and now I am trying to scroll up to the page from where we should begin. So in our last video tutorial we had finished up to page 37 in the textbook, and now today we are going to take up page 38. So I'm zooming in so that you can have a better view of the text. So here on your screen you can see that Prospero was, if you remember the previous page, you can have a look at the previous page down below. Prospero was asking the time, and then he was commenting that there is some more work to be done for the next few hours. And Ariel, who is an airy spirit serving Prospero, is not very happy to hear that. So Ariel says, is there more toil? Is there more hard work to do? Toil means work, but then it's not ordinary work, it is definitely hard work. So you mean to say that there is more work to be done? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee, since you are giving me such hard tasks. You can see the meaning is given alongside. So since you are giving me such hard tasks to accomplish or to do or to carry out your orders, let me remind you. Let me remember thee means let me remind you what thou hast promised, what you had promised me earlier. So let me remind you what you had promised to me earlier, which is not yet performed me, meaning to say which has not yet been fulfilled. The promise which you had made earlier, you have not fulfilled as yet. Now Prospero becomes very angry when his servant is protesting, when he is asking his servant to do some work, and that makes him very angry. And so Prospero, in an angry tone, now says these words: how now, moody? What is it thou canst demand? What is it now? Are you feeling sulky? Are you in a mood not to do the work which I mean you should do? What is it that you could possibly be demanding? What is it that you are demanding from me? Come out clear with it. Tell me. And Ariel says, my liberty. Prospero says, Ariel is asking for his freedom. Prospero says, before the time be out, before the time gets over, you want your freedom, you want your liberty? No more. Now don't say that again to me. Time has not yet come. I will not allow you to leave so soon. There is some more work to be done. First, you have to finish that work. Ariel says, I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service. I pray to you, I request you, please remember, please don't forget that I have been doing valuable service to you. So far, whatever work you have given me, I have carried out. I have done valuable service for you. Told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without or grudge or grumblings. I have never told you lies. I have never made any mistakes in the tasks that you have given me to carry out. And I have served you without complaining or without showing reluctance. Without complaining, without grumbling, and without a grudge. That means without showing dislike for the work that you have given me. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year, and you had in the past promised to let me go 1 full year in advance. Actually, what happened was That reference will come up now. When Prospero came to this island, this uninhabited island where he now lives with his daughter Miranda, when they arrived in this island, it was 12 years ago when he arrived here, he found Ariel imprisoned inside the hollow of a tree trunk. He had been imprisoned there by Caliban's mother, Sycorax, the foul witch. And that's because Caliban's mother, Sycorax, was a nasty, vicious, evil character, and she wanted to do harm to human beings, wanted to do things which were harmful for the world, harmful for its inhabitants, and she ordered Ariel to carry out such tasks, which Ariel refused to carry out because Ariel is a good spirit. Remember always, Ariel is a good spirit and he does not carry out anything bad or nasty. If he has created the tempest and if he has scared the people on board the ship, no real harm has actually been caused by that particular action of Ariel. He has not killed anyone. Nobody is injured, and we have already had a report of how everyone is safely brought to the island. So Ariel will only do things which are good, not bad things. Things like killing people, killing animals, or destroying some natural object. He won't do that. So when Sycorax ordered him, he refused, and so Sycorax punished him by entrapping him or putting him inside the hollow of a tree trunk. And he could not come out because the charm of Sycorax was working on him and the tree trunk. So he was there for several years, crying in pain, groaning and moaning in pain, till Prospero came to this island. And when Prospero heard the sound, he rescued Ariel. And when he rescued Ariel, Ariel was entrapped, imprisoned inside the hollow trunk of the tree for 12 long years before Prospero arrived. And so, on his release, Ariel promised that he would serve Prospero for as many number of years as he was imprisoned inside the hollow trunk of the tree. So this was the reason why for these 12 years that Prospero has been living in this island, Ariel has been working as his servant. So now Prospero had made a promise that if you carry out all my tasks according to my orders, then I will set you free a year in advance. So the 12th year is still going on and he has not yet released him. So Ariel is demanding his freedom. So now Prospero will scold him. So Prospero says, "Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee? Have you forgotten from what a painful situation I had rescued you? I had freed you?" Ariel says, "No, I haven't forgotten." Prospero says, "Thou dost. No, you have forgotten, and thinkest it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep. And so you have forgotten. That's why when I am asking you to go inside the sea, the ooze of the salt deep refers to the sea, the soft mud at the bottom of the sea actually. So the meaning is given alongside, you can have a look. So if I give you tasks like going to the soft mud at the bottom of the sea and get something from me from the seabed, from the bottom of the sea, or to do me business, to run up the sharp wind of the north, if I ask you to move towards the northern part of the world where the sharp very cold north wind blows. Or if I ask you to do business in the veins of the earth, if I ask you to go deep inside the earth, so if I ask you to fly in the air, in simpler terms, try to understand what Prospero means to say, that if I give you such tasks, like go to the bottom of the sea and get me something from there, or fly up in the sky and go towards the north, face the north winds and get me something from the north, or if I ask you to go deep inside the earth when it is baked with frost, when the earth is hardened because of frost, you find it a very difficult task. When I ask you to do these things, you find it very difficult. Now remember, for a human being, such tasks can be difficult, but for a spirit who does not have a body at all, who is just air and who is supernatural, these are not very difficult tasks. So Prospero is scolding him. I think you are forgetting and you are thinking it too much of hard work. Thinkest it much, meaning to say you are considering it to be too much of hard work if I am asking you to go inside the water, fly in the air, or go deep inside the earth for certain tasks. Ariel says, I do not, sir. No, sir, I don't consider them to be difficult tasks. No, sir. Now Ariel is coming back to what he was before. And Prospero is now shouting at him, thou liest, malignant thing. You are telling a lie. You are a malignant thing. Malignant, malicious, someone bad, nasty. Prospero is scolding him. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax? Have you forgotten that very nasty devil of a witch called Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop, who because of old age and because of her vicious nature, her jealous nature, she had virtually grown into a hoop. That means, curved body. Body was completely bent. Why? Because of tremendous old age and also because of envy or jealousy in her heart. So for two reasons, both physical reason and also psychological reason. This witch who was grown into a hoop, meaning is explained here, that is bent double with age and anxiety. Hast thou forgot her? Have you forgotten that witch? Of course, Ariel will not forget, because it was the same Sycorax who had imprisoned him and punished him, and he had suffered for 12 long years. So we finish that page, we move on to the next page, page 39. So Ariel says, no sir, I haven't forgotten. No sir, I haven't forgotten. Prospero still scolds Ariel and says, thou hast. Of course you have forgotten. Where was she born? Speak, tell me. Let me test your memory. Where was this witch born? Tell me, speak. Now why is William Shakespeare using this device or this dialogue, asking Ariel through Prospero about Sycorax, so that the audience who are watching should also know the background story and should know who Sycorax was. So Ariel says, sir, in Argyre. Argyre is the old name for Algiers. And where is Algiers? Algiers is the capital of Algeria. And where is Algeria? Algeria is in Africa. So Algeria, capital is Algiers. In today's World Atlas, if you see the map of Africa, you can find Algeria, and the capital city is called Algiers. And in the olden times, in Shakespeare's time, Algiers was called Argyre. So Prospero says, oh, was she so? I see, so she was born there, is it? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been. Once in a month, I have to remind you what you have been in the past. Otherwise, you always keep on asking for your freedom. So every month I have to remind you once about your past. from what I have rescued you. Otherwise, always you do like this. Once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. You have a tendency to forget it. This damned witch Sycorax, this condemned witch, she was such a nasty witch that she could be termed as someone condemned. For mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter human hearing. This witch, because she did so many mischiefs and so many terrible things against humanity, that it is not even worth mentioning. It's not even suitable for the human ear to hear such mischiefs of this witch. So for all these activities of this particular witch, what happened to her? From Algiers, thou knowest, from Algeria's capital Algiers, as you know, was banished. She was exiled. She was thrown out of her country. The king ordered the witch to be arrested and thrown out of the country because she was doing nonsense and creating trouble for the people of the country. So she was banished. Banished means exiled, thrown out. Just as Prospero was exiled from Milan by his treacherous brother. But that was the treason committed by his brother, not Prospero. But in this case, Sycorax was banished from Algiers by the local authorities of Algiers. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true? So that is what they did, but they did not take her life because maybe they did not want to commit the crime of killing someone. So the best idea was to throw her out of the country, and not only throw her out, she should be deported. She should be sent to live all alone by herself in some dismal, desolate island. And so this island where now Prospero lives for 12 years, 12 years before Prospero's arrival, this witch had been marooned or exiled or banished from Algiers, from Africa, and brought here and dumped here. She was left in this island, and the sailors who brought her from Algeria, they went back to their country. So Africa is down below, Mediterranean Sea is in the middle, and above that you have Italy and mainland Europe. So this island is somewhere in between. Up above you have Europe, down below you have Africa, and this island in the center in the Mediterranean Sea. And this witch was brought to this island 12 years before Prospero came to this island. Then where did she go? She died. She is no longer alive. In fact, she died before Prospero arrived and rescued Ariel. So that is what we are coming to now. Is not this true? Is this story not true? Ariel says, sir. Yes, sir. What you are saying is true. Prospero says, this blue-eyed hag, this blue-eyed old woman who had blue eyes. Now, the eyes of the witch were blue. That's why blue-eyed. And hag means very old and deformed woman. It has already been described that she was doubly bent like a hoop. So, this blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child. Now, because she was a witch, she was expecting a child. Now, in old age, nobody expects a child. No woman can bear a child. But this witch, because she was a supernatural creature, she was, in her womb, she was carrying a child. A baby which was yet to be born. And here was left by the sailors. And in this island, this witch was left by the sailors, who then went back. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, you, my slave, my servant, as you yourself told me, reported to me, wast then her servant. At that time you were her servant. And for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthy and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee. And because you were such a delicate spirit, fine in quality, dainty spirit, that you could not carry out or execute her nasty commands, her hateful commands. You refused to carry out her commands, her grand hests, and so she became angry with you. And when she became angry with you, what did she do? She confined you. She imprisoned you. By help of her more potent ministers, by the help of her more potent, more powerful spirits, messengers or spirits whom she commanded. Sycorax, being a witch, had many spirits under her control. So with the help of more powerful spirits, she captured you when you refused to carry out her orders, and then in her most unmitigable rage, relentless, unforgiving rage, anger, she imprisoned you into a cloven pine, into a pine tree which was split into two or cut open into two, and you were put inside it, and then she closed it from outside and sealed it up. Within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years. And inside that pine tree, the rift or the gap made between the pine tree, you stayed imprisoned for 12 years. For 12 long years, you remained imprisoned inside that pine tree, within which space she died. And during the course of this time, she died. When exactly she died, we don't know. But within the span of those 12 years that Ariel was kept imprisoned inside that pine tree, during the span of that time, Sycorax died. And left thee there, and you were left there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. And you were groaning and moaning in pain inside that pine tree. There was no one to rescue you. The one who had put you inside it had died. So you were groaning and moaning there, in pain, in suffering, in your imprisonment, just like the turning of mill wheels. What are mill wheels? Water wheels. If you have seen old-fashioned water wheels, by means of which sometimes grains were ground, or maybe oil was taken out from oil seed. So, water mills. So just as the wheels, wooden wheels of the water mills turn and make a groaning sound, so also you continued groaning and crying in pain. Then was this island, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape. At that time, this island did not have any other inhabitant except the child that she had given birth to before she had died. And this child, the son who was born to Sycorax, was the only creature living in this island. And what kind of creature was he? A freckled whelp. Freckled means having brown spots on the skin, and whelp is a term of abuse. Whelp refers to actually the little one of a dog or puppies. So he was no better than a pup, hag-born, born of a witch, not honored with a human shape. And this island was not, or rather this island did not receive the honor of having any other human being living in it except this creature who was not even like a human being. So referring to the son of Sycorax, and his name is Caliban. We have seen in the dramatis persona of this play that the character name is Caliban. So with that we come to the end of I think we have finished page 39, and with page 39 we stop here for the day, and we will continue again from page 40 in our next class. Until then, thank you very much. Have a nice day.